Rosecrans Radio. I'm Rosecrans Vic, joined by Swifty Blue in this bitch.
Whoa, on what?
What's the deal?
What's going on?
Shit, bro, it's a little overdue, you know what I mean? That we had you on here, but you know what I mean? It's funny is because I think I see you so often. This happens to a lot of the homies. Like, I didn't have Swift on my podcast for like 2 years.
Excuses.
And it was it's not. It's really like
clowning.
it's really like I see people so often that I forget, like, oh wait, we actually have to have a conversation for the people too. You know what I mean? Aside from our regular conversations.
Thanks.
So, glad to have you finally up here. Check out the radio.com building, you know what I mean? Like, we in the good white people space right now, you know what I mean? Like, we're not supposed to be here, you know what I mean?
Out the way.
I'm sure they hate every time we come up here because there's like hella. You already seen how many people are in the lobby.
Oh,
like,
yeah, they hate Swifty. They don't like me. They'll get staring at me. Nah, I ain't see nobody. I ain't seen the homies.
Yeah, so shit, man, you just dropped the project?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Took some losses.
December 2nd. And, I was at the listening party. It was a really dope event. And, you guys had an accompanying, documentary, for the project. And I really enjoyed that. You showed it. You had, like, a screening while we were there. And what was most impressive to me was in the documentary you showed that you got released from jail.
Yes.
On December 2nd, 2018.
1 year ago.
Exactly 1 year ago, exactly. And the next year you dropped, what was that, your second or third project of the year?
Actually, this is my third project.
Third project in that span.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And, you for sure are one of the hardest working people I've met, you know what I mean, in the industry so far. And like,
I try.
Yeah, your productivity is crazy. Like every few days it's a new Swifty Blue video on YouTube. You know what I mean? You're working with this. You even have your own record label, Grimey Rcrds. So,
yes, sir.
But I want to know, like, obviously you're from Paramount, California,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So, tell me a little bit more about like your background and like, you growing up, you going to school, like what was that like?
Growing up, I grew up in Paramount, going to school. Went to school to the local school, Paramount Park School, and you know what I'm saying, just grew up in the city, and I got love for my city, and you know what I'm saying, I was raised there, and just like any other neighborhood, you grow up, you know what I'm saying, most people, you really from the section, and you end up either joining the neighborhood or running, like just representing your city hard. And Paramount ain't really had nobody to represent them music-wise, so like on the rap scene.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, yeah, it's something I really look forward to doing. You know what I'm saying? Putting on for my section.
Yeah. At what point did you decide you wanted to like start making music and like rapping?
When I was in high school, I used to rap a lot. I never thought like, yeah, we gonna be serious about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to pursue it as a career.
Yeah.
But, making music and seeing possibilities, people making money and whatnot, so we just said, fuck it, let's try to get some money, you know what I'm saying, doing this.
Yeah.
And just start pushing and, things looking better.
Yeah. Who are some people you grew up listening to that like inspired you to rap?
I grew up off a lot of old school stuff, like, a lot of Nipsey. I mean, a lot of Tupac, a lot of 50. Then when Nipsey came out, I started bumping some Nipsey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Mozzie came out, I started bumping some Mozzie.
Yeah.
Like, I love the bass sound. Filthy. You know what I'm saying? Prezi.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So, I mean, that makes sense that you're mentioning those names because I feel like your music has a lot of substance. You know what I mean? As far as like
influence.
You're saying a lot. You know what I mean? You're not just, trying to, make like a hot record or something. Like, you're really trying to like get some shit off your chest. You know what I mean? Would you say that's fair? Like,
yes.
Is there like, certain situations that like you've spoke on your records that have been like, you know what I mean? People hit you like, yo, like, did you say something? Like, like you said this, like, it could be about family
a lot
or,
of times,
you know what I mean?
a lot of times, people, feel like, oh, it's towards them, so whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people could really relate to it, or some people
Yeah.
could feel like, oh, he sneaked this in the pills. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And the way it is, really, like, it's like if the shoe fits, wear it. You know what I'm saying? If you can
Yeah.
relate to it, you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you could cope with the music, or you could cope with it. If you feel like if it's directed towards you, then it might be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it is what you make it. You know?
Yeah. So, you know, speak about like your productivity, because, like I said, I haven't really ran into too many people that work as hard as you. Like Callie gave me this story that I want to share. He said that the first time you booked a session at the Z Room, it was an 8-hour block. You recorded a song, you got a tattoo, and you shot a video. And by the end of the 8 hours, everything was done. Like,
the video was, we had like previews, promos ready to drop.
So speak about that, like, you know what I mean? Being able to be that productive, and like, where do you get that from? Like, are your, you know, is it your
I'm
parents?
Hispanic,
Is it...
you know what I'm saying? We came here just like anybody else who struggled and has, you know what I'm saying, hard work ethic. You know what I'm saying? You come from countries where you have so many disadvantages. You come here for a better living. You're gonna work hard. So it's like, you got people wake up 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning, go out trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? 6 in the morning. You got all types of people grinding, hustling. You got people. So it's like, it's just that hustle that we got. You know, I'll put it in sorts of music on the mic. You know what I'm saying? We could be locked in. We could be making records all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. The same effort you put in towards other things, you got to put them in towards what you want to do. You know, like whether it's your music or any other things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the gym or whether it's, you know what I'm saying, your YouTube blog. You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Yeah. Did you work like a regular job like that?
Oh yeah, I
like...
worked all types of regular jobs, agency jobs, fucking so dope. I was fucking no, I'm playing. Like shit, I worked at fast food places. I used to work at taco spots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Almost anything you can imagine, done it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have that same work ethic in those spots? Or were you just kind of not, like, you just didn't really care?
Yeah, well, that's different, man. That's completely different. That's like you working for somebody else. You just, you know, I actually did work hard, but then eventually you start trying to finesse it.
Of course,
you know
yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Because I'm just imagining if you had that work ethic in, like, like in Taco Bell, like you would have ran that bitch like in a few months, like, you know what I mean, like
type shit, yeah.
So maybe it's good that you didn't, because you might have gotten like, you know, like a kind of like good job, like you just stuck there.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to be the manager at McDonald's or something. Like, oh shit, fuck all that.
On God, that's why, like, it was funny that, you know, I used to work at a bank, and I was like, for sure, like the least hardworking person in that place. But at the same time, I would go home and like write for like 3-4 hours, or I'll go do the podcast or whatever. So like everybody at work really thought I was lazy, but they had no idea that like they had an 8-hour day and I had a 16-hour day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it was fun. I was like, I'm trying to pace myself. What the fuck? I got like 6 more hours after you guys go home and go to sleep. Like,
man.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Wells Fargo, man. That was a good check for 2 years.
Now we out here interviewing.
Yeah, now I'm interviewing Swifty Blue. I made it.
Yeah, you made it. I made it. I'm getting interviewed by Big.
You know, you just put out the project. It had a few features on there. You worked with Glasses Malone, G Malone.
Yeah,
right?
G Malone. He's on the new album.
Yeah, speak about that relationship, and you know, did you grow up like listening to him and his music? Were you a fan of his prior?
Well, you know what? I've heard a few of his songs and I really liked them.
Yeah.
I was never like a big G Malone fan. Like, oh, you know, I'm listening to all his music, his catalog, but you know, he makes good music.
Yeah.
So just the simple fact that, you know, he's an OG in the West Coast.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And you got people like Kendrick Lamar who talk about, you know, like they used to look up to Glasses Malone and whatnot, stuff like that. And for him to be on my record now, you know what I'm saying? You know, me coming from where I come from. So it's crazy, you know, it's dope. You know, it's one of my best records. You know, I like it. I really like it. You know, at first I didn't want nobody on that record. Yeah. But, you know, like, he gets a pass. He's cool. He's an OG and he's solidified. You know, it just makes the record like, you know what I'm saying? It's like icing on the cake. So
definitely. It's a dope record already. It's used, produced by Cypress. It just really made it like a full, you know what I mean?
Like anybody else, I would have pressed issue. Like, I wouldn't want them on the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. So, something I ask a lot of like Hispanic rappers is like, I feel like we all know that there's like a certain section of the game that if you make a certain type of music, you have a certain type of image, like you get stuck there. And you could have like a good career, you know what I mean? But it's hard to like break out of there, you know what I mean? Like of the Chicano rap or whatever people want to call it.
Yeah, we try to stay away from the box.
And I feel like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like you've successfully like done that. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think about Swifty Blue, the Chicano rapper. Like that doesn't come to mind. Like it's Swifty Blue, you know what I mean? Like he's his own thing, basically. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like there's another archetype of you like in LA right now. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know what I mean? That's somebody that's, face tats, really from a gang, you know what I mean? But at the same time, not making Chicano rap, it's not like super gangbanging music. It's music. You know what I mean? Like speak about how, did you know that going into like making music, like to stray away from a certain box or a certain sound or working with certain artists?
It's like the influences and the cultural change,
Yeah.
It's more what can I say? What's the word? It's more like integrated now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at one point, just all you hang out with just a certain crowd of people, and this is how the people rap, this is how the people talk. You're gonna rap and talk like them.
Yeah.
So just we broke away. We hang out with, hang out with more black people, hang out with more, listen to different music, and you integrate. It's different,
Yeah.
So now that culture becomes part of our culture becomes part of their culture.
Yeah.
How you have YG wearing all these Cortez long songs, like, dressing like an essay and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because he's around them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the cultural integration.
Yeah. That's smart. So do you think growing up in Paramount had anything to do with that? Because it's majority Hispanic.
Location is everything.
But
you know what I'm saying?
it's also integrated as well. Like
location is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I would have grew up somewhere, like let's say somewhere in South Central Los Angeles,
yeah.
I would have probably been forced to be more racial and more like, okay, because it's different. It's more, it's hot zones. You know what I'm saying? Where I stay, it's less like that. So I could go kick it with the blacks. I could go do this. Certain neighborhoods, like you go over to Long Beach, it's different. You can't really do that. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So it's just location is everything. I was blessed to be where I'm from because it opened the doors for me in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely. So I would say that like, I think it's important, like the 562 area, like you said, like it doesn't have too many artists that have made it. You know what I mean? Like, speak on that like we're from LA, but at the same time, like it's different than being from like South Central or, you know what I mean? Like even like we have a studio out in Paramount. Like, oh yeah, come to the studio. Paramount. Oh fuck, damn, that's far, dog. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When in reality, it's a 15-minute drive. 20-minute drive, no traffic. You know what I mean? Speak about that. How it's kind of at times we could be on the outside looking in, but you know what I mean? I feel like if you work hard enough, like people will fuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, the 562, we're on the outskirts of LA.
Yeah.
But it's a whole vibe. It's different. It's downtown in Los Angeles. It's one vibe. You go out here, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
It's still gutter, it's still hood, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just looks a lot nicer.
Yeah.
But shit, you still get robbed, still get your shit snatched, you still get finessed, and you still got the smokers out here. You know what I'm saying? You got everything. But
yeah.
There's a lot of talent coming out the 562. You got people from Long Beach too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the Downey area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Norwalk, everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got people working, grinding. So
hell yeah,
opening the doors for the section.
Yep. One of the first times I met you was at the Marathon store. This was the day after Nipsey passed away.
Yeah, I remember.
And I think it was probably like the second time I had met you. So I was it was funny because like we just obviously you got the face tats and everything. We had met like a few days before, and then I'm like, I just pull up by myself. I'm doing a story for the Fader, and then
What a coincidence.
yeah, and I run into you, and I'm just
And
like,
I'm wearing my marathon boxers.
yeah, exactly. Run into you, and then I'm just like,
Paying my dues by myself.
yeah, and I was just like, oh
I was
shit,
going
like,
through it. I was
yeah,
like,
I was
they
like,
killed
what?
Nipsey.
Yeah, I was like, what's
Fuck.
good, bro? Like, we dapped it up real quick, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta interview some people. And then I
Perfect
was like,
timing.
yeah. And then I was like, wait. I was like, let me interview you. Like, you're an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you obviously
perfect
fucked with
timing.
Nipsey. And you gave me one of the dopest interviews that I got there because it was, you could even, because I recorded it on the, like, voice note. You could hear the pain in your voice. You know what I mean? Like you said, like, speak about, how that affected you and, what you were going through, at the time.
Yeah, man. The day Nipsey died, when he got shot, I was doing a song. I was recording actually. I was doing a feature for somebody, and we got the news, and it just fucked my whole vibe up. I was just like, fuck. I had to cut the session short. Like, what the fuck? Shit crazy. Like, like
Yeah.
I was trying to rap, but I was just like, well, I was just like, hold up. I was on my phone too much trying to confirm, and I was just like, man, we'll get back to this. Like the smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go up there. You know what I'm saying? I seen Cali was up there. I was like, hold up, what's going on, man? Couldn't believe it. Let me see, So, shit, it was just depressing, very depressing.
Yeah.
We didn't see that coming at all. You know what I'm saying? I really look forward to working with Nip, showing him some of my work. I was just really eager to doing that. I had met him one time, and it was just really heartbreaking. Especially because I look up to him so much, and I'm like, damn, this is what I want to do. I want to, open shop in my hood, something like this, and just to like, damn, this how it's gonna end. This how it's gonna end. These are the footsteps I'm trying to follow.
Yeah.
Just to come fuck around and do something for my city. You know what I'm saying? Just fuck around and get killed by smokers, some motherfucking,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit crazy. So it's
Yeah.
depressing. It makes you reevaluate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, yeah. I remember we had spoken about that, and it was like, obviously, like, you're a prominent figure in your section, just, like, as he was. And like you said, it just made you think a little bit harder. Like, wait, this is what I thought I wanted to do, and this might be the outcome. You know what I mean? It's definitely fucked a lot of people's heads up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just makes you think twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About certain decisions. You
Yeah.
know,
But
decision-making.
one thing I was gonna, tell you that I did admire was Thanksgiving. You went and passed out blankets and food,
umbrellas, some food, and some hygiene kits.
Yeah, speak about that, like, and how important it is to give back to the community.
It's important to give back because we're supposed to show support to each other. You know, if we don't show support to each other, we're never gonna move forward as people. And I got a studio in downtown LA on Skid Road. So me arriving to my studio, late night when it's raining, I realized that there was people laying on the floor, wet blankets, and then I started hollering at them, like asking them questions like, "Hey man, you good? Like, can I help you? Trying to buy them some stuff because it's sad, but I understand." People put themselves in, their own position. Like, you dig your grave, you lay in it. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't, who are we to judge people? And like, I'm not God. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you made mistakes, you're gonna suffer for the consequence. I'm not nobody like that. So if I can help you, I'm gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just in me. If I can help people, I'll help them because I like, I'm a people person. I like to make them feel good. The less fortunate, that can't help each other, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody going to help them. I've been in situations nobody helped me. I wish somebody would have lent a hand. So you just got to look at it from a different perspective, You can't just think about yourself all the time, Yeah. You got to make sacrifices.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, that was really dope. And you could tell it came from a genuine place. You know what I mean? Like you said, you're just going to your studio, and you just felt the urge. And I think it was dope because you encouraged other people. Even me, Cali, I'm just like, yo, bro, we got to
have a platform, so
be a part of the next one.
Why not use it to bring awareness, not only for, my music, but for things like that, So, so we're going to try to do it more often because we're going to use our resources to our advantage.
Definitely. Speak about your record label, Grimey Rcrds, and what artists you have under you, and what's the ultimate plan for that?
Okay, well, Grimey Records, basically, we have a roster. we have about 8 artists. You know what I'm saying? And it just basically it's just really it's just like real people, like some like everything's authentic. So just people I've met, you know what I'm saying, working and networking and grinding, and people who've been involved with me since the jump.
Yep.
So if I see something in somebody and I feel like I could offer some type of platform, some type of help, you know what I'm saying, that we could work together, we could build together, then we could go ahead and do that, because 2 heads works better than one,
Yeah.
You accomplish more as a team than by yourself. So that's just really what it is. We're just coming up, and just grinding, working together, building together as a team. And as of now, we have a roster of artists, but it's still like we're still like in a process of making things official.
Yeah.
So I can't really put no artists out there like that.
Yeah.
Until
Somebody else might snatch them up.
Until everything's like 100% sure official. We got people working on projects and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a relationship.
Like one for sure, one artist for sure that's like that he is with me, ride or die, is Anto the Great. That's my boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Grew up together.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's from my city as well, from my neighborhood. So the thing about him is we started together. We came up together. Just I've been grinding. I've been consistent with it. I've been hustling. So people see obviously I built the name for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I put the record label. I carry the record label. I put it on my back and just I motivate them, everybody else. So the thing is we're just building. That's my right there, my partner right there, and we're working on getting other artists all through Los Angeles, Southern California.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even out of state. We're just building the funding and building budgets, and you know what I'm saying, getting solidified and just getting everything straight so we can have a strong foundation.
Yeah. That's super dope. What song or video, or at what point did you like look and see like, or like kind of realize like, oh shit, like people are really fucking with me? Was there any like particular song you could point to that kind of got bigger and got like more of a reaction?
Well, the first song that started going up, because I used to drop videos and only get about 10,000 views, like tops.
Yeah.
I dropped a song featuring Lil Cotty PG.
Okay.
From My Young.
Yeah.
And that one reached 50,000 views within like the first month.
Yeah.
Probably even faster. And I got good results. So that one made me realize like, oh yeah, we got to drop more content, better content, and we're gonna get more numbers.
Yeah.
So that was a turning point right there. We started seeing results that we were looking for. It's like, you've been working out and you're like, you finally step on the scale and you see you 20 pounds lighter. That's how that felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we dropped the video and we went from 10, you know what I'm saying, reaching 10,000 to now we got 50,000 views, video with 50,000 views. I was like, oh shit. And I felt like I made it, you know what I'm saying?
And then that's the norm, and then it starts to build, and like it's pretty.
Now we got 1 million views.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see it. I think my favorite record of yours is definitely Cuerno de Chivo.
Yeah, that one's classic for sure.
Yeah, that one I think kind of broke out of the realm too of like, just Swifty Blue fans. Like I feel like a lot more people got familiar with you after that record as well.
Yes, that one for sure gave us a good name.
Yeah,
a good name all around. So people know. It helped, it gave Chito a name out here in LA, and it gave me a name in Sacktown. So
yeah,
now I got fan base out there. He got fan base out here. So
yeah.
Not saying that he didn't have it, but just larger
for sure. Yeah,
and connect some dots.
Cross promoted. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the point of it. Shit, is there anything else? I know you just dropped a project. Anything else we're working on for the next year? Or?
You know what? Basically, we wrapped it all up. I got a parade that I'm doing this December.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This Saturday, actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're gonna give out some toys.
Okay. Back to the community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're gonna be out there participating, helping out. It's in the city of Compton.
Okay.
And
your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Right next to the Paramount. You know what I'm saying? We could help the section out.
Yeah.
It's all love. And we got a bunch of new merchandise dropping, so
okay.
So that's something people should look into. You know what I'm saying? We got some website. We got new stuff dropping on website and all that.
I got some new stickers right here.
Yeah, got some little stickers, you know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
You know, something we could slap around, place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Have everybody get familiar with the
My
label.
bumper sticker.
They gonna see it a lot more.
So they
Grimey
know.
Records.
So they know I'm
see it a lot
official.
more, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see a lot more big Grimey record chains and
Yep.
all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That's what's up. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Everybody go stream. Took some losses. Swifty Blue.
Cuerno Chivo as well.
Cuerno de Chivo. Rosecrans Radio. We out.